A White House appeal challenging the ruling of lower courts against the constitutionality of President Trump's tariff is pending before the U.S. Supreme Court. The top court is expected to deliver its ruling on argued cases when it takes the bench on Wednesday. Now, legal experts believe that the fate of tariffs imposed under a 1977 emergency power law could be among them. The Supreme Court added a non-argument or conference date of its website on Wednesday. However, the court does not indicate which ruling it wants to publish ahead of time. The ruling could come as soon as Wednesday, given the far-reaching effects on global economies. The challenge to Trump's tariff has attracted a lot of attention. Now, both conservative and liberal justices voiced concerns about the legality of the tariffs during oral arguments in November. Betting markets think that there's a high chance that the White House loses its appeal on reciprocal tariffs on the EU, China and the rest of the world being struck down. Poly markets show only a 27% chance that the top court rules Trump's tariffs as legal. A decision against the levies would undermine Trump's key economic strategy and mark his most significant legal setback since resuming his role in the White House about a year ago. On Tuesday, Trump announced a new tariff of 25% on any country trading with Iran. He also predicted disaster if the U.S. Supreme Court were to rule his tariffs as illegal. The president estimated that many hundreds of billions of dollars or even trillions were at stake if the government was forced to refund tariffs which were already collected. In a Truth Social post, Trump said, and I'm quoting here, "It would be a complete mess and almost impossible for our country to pay." He added that if the Supreme Court rules against the United States of America on this national security bonanza, we're screwed. But the Trump administration has said that if the top court does not rule in its favor, it will use other statutes to push through tariffs. Still, if the court is singing administration were to lose the case, the U.S. would need to refund at least some of the tariffs. Now, according to latest Customs and Border Protection Agency data, tariffs had generated $89 billion in revenues to the U.S. Treasury by the end of August.
Tariffs have delivered us trillions of dollars of new investment, unprecedented new partnerships on minerals, rare earths, defense, and artificial intelligence, and historic levels of foreign military sales. You have the Supreme Court now going to rule on whether or not we can use tariffs. Can you believe this? A case brought about by people that are China-centric, foreign-centric, but China-centric. I wouldn't want it if I was China either. You know, China's one of our biggest taxpayers right now. China, would you ever believe you'd hear that? And they've been great. My relationship with President Xi has been great. But we have a group that's foreign-centric, China-centric, suing, and we'll figure something out if we don't win. But we should win. I mean, we should win.
Now, for India, the timing could not be more critical. The outcome of this judgment will decide whether Indian firms are able to recover important summer contracts or whether they will permanently lose American clients. Amid the uncertainty, Indian exporters are pinning their hopes on the U.S. court stepping in. India and the U.S. remain locked in negotiations on a trade deal, but no breakthrough has been announced so far.